What am I talking about? Not the most amazing day. So I thought I would sit down and talk about it. This is, I believe, my 3rd week incorporating animal products back into my diet after almost 4 years of veganism. Every day is very different, both physically and mentally. I'm choosing to incorporate animal products back into my diet in order to fully recover from my eating disorder. When I first started eating vegan, I did it because I just didn't feel like intuitively drawn to meat anymore. Like slowly, I didn't like steak or chicken, like it just happened. Like I gradually just became, I felt like intuitively drawn to veganism. As time went on, I just feel like when I made the switch to being fully vegan, it just turned into this thing where I was more attached to the label of being vegan than I was attached to why I even went vegan in the first place. Like I feel like I never did check-ins like, are you still feeling healthy in your body? Are you still feeling intuitively drawn to this lifestyle? Are you still doing what's best for you? Or do you feel like because you've put this label in your head on your life that you don't have any other choice? And honestly, for the first couple years, like it was unwavering devotion to veganism. Like I didn't have a second thought about it. Morally, physically, health-wise, like I just felt it was for me. It was really just over the last year that I've been really struggling with it, which I think is for so many different reasons. I think one, because I've been recovering from my eating disorder for over a year now, so I feel like in challenging my fear foods and my food rules, it felt really kind of weird to still have this whole restriction over my diet. And I'm not saying that no one can recover from an eating disorder on a vegan diet. I'm just saying for me personally, like I felt just weird about it. Like I just felt kind of, I don't know. And then also, I guess the biggest thing is just intuitively, I felt drawn to trying to incorporate more animal products. And it wasn't, oh, I'm really craving chicken right now, or I'm really craving milk or whatever. It wasn't like that. It hasn't been like that. It's more like craving zero restriction and craving like normalcy in my diet. And just, I don't know, just I realized like it was gonna be totally impossible for me to do this, for me to recover while still being so restrictively tied to a diet. And it's not veganism's fault, and it's not anything like that. There's so many things that I see where people don't have a good experience on a vegan diet. People are like, they weren't eating the right things, they weren't blah blah blah, and maybe I wasn't, but truly, I just felt intuitively disconnected. Like I felt like I needed to explore my options. And then I just felt wrong about it. I felt like I wasn't vegan for the right reasons anymore. I felt like I was vegan because I would feel bad if I wasn't, and I would feel like a bad person if I wasn't, and I would feel, I don't know. And also just being vegan for such a long time, it's part of who I am. Like it's almost like I just didn't even know how to not be vegan. It was so foreign to me. In challenging my fear foods, I remember thinking to myself, are animal products fear foods for you? I feel like they're not fear foods because I'm not afraid of eating them, because I would never eat them. Like they're so out of the realm of what I would eat that I have no reason to fear them. When really I started realizing that I am really afraid of animal products. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to my body and my brain and the environment. In all aspects of animal products, I fear them. Yeah, I just realized that in order to grow mentally and like overcome this, I had to stop having any labels on my diet, and I just want to be an intuitive eater. I want to like figure out what makes me feel good, and that doesn't mean that I'm not being responsible about the animal products that I'm consuming, because I really am. Products that I'm buying from the store, I always make sure that they're certified humane, organic, free range, nothing that makes me uncomfortable morally. It's really important to me that I'm responsibly purchasing products. It's a little bit different when I've gone out to eat, the few times I have gone out to eat, simply for the sake of my mental health. I don't want to worry about it so much. I don't want to, and I know that like that sounds selfish, and I feel like when I'm saying it, I'm like, oh my God, how can you say that? But truly, I just need, it's such a battle in my brain that I need to be able to go out to eat and not feel like I'm a terrible person. That I think also a little bit stems from, I haven't always been the most ethically conscious or nicest person at all, like at all. I really only started being more considerate of the kind of person I wanted to be when I graduated from high school. And before that, I don't feel like I was a very good person, like at all. I wasn't very nice, and I wasn't conscious of like what was going on in the world at all. So I think that kind of sent me into this like uber conscious mindset, because I felt like I wasn't a good person. I mean, I wasn't consciously thinking like, oh, I'm not a good person, I have to make up being not a good person. I subconsciously was like, I need to fix this. Like, I need to fix not being a good person. So I have to do everything I can to be as sustainable as possible and be as ethically conscious as possible and be as nice to people as possible, because deep down I didn't feel like I was a good person. So I think that I also like used veganism in a way to make myself feel better about not feeling good about myself on like a moral level, if that makes sense. Also, breaking free of veganism for me, I think, I don't even want to say breaking free of veganism, because I feel like that makes it sound like it was prison or like it's this terrible thing, when it's not. I just want to say like breaking free from my diet that I was sticking to for however long was also kind of a way of me just confidently knowing who I am. Like, at this point in my life, I am a good person. I always make the right choice. I always make the good choice. Like, I never want to hurt anybody. I never want to hurt anything. If there's a sustainable option, I want it. I really am super uber conscious of like how my actions affect people and the world. I'm a good person, and I know that. So I don't need to continue torturing myself in indirect ways, because deep down I feel like I could have been a better person in the past or something like that. I don't know. Now this video is all over the place. I don't feel like a bad person for not being vegan anymore. I don't. Because like I said, I'm really responsible with the products that I am buying. I just want to feel like I'm free. And for the past couple of years, food has just been this torture for me, like constantly thinking about it and constantly analyzing it and manipulating it. And it's just, I can't do it anymore. I just need total freedom. Has my camera been sideways this whole time? I thought I would feel worse about myself when I started eating animal products again, but I don't. Another thing is, I wanted to make a video like this, like talking about like how I feel since not being vegan anymore. And I was like, oh, I'll do my makeup, everything will look nice and whatever. But honestly, I feel really crappy today. Like, I just don't feel comfortable in my body, and I just wasn't like feeling good about what I ate for dinner. And then I just felt really uncomfortable and not like pretty, and not like I wanted to make this video. So I was like, I should make it now because I'm like, whatever, I don't know. I just feel like maybe it feels more like I feel more energy right now about it, so I can talk more about it right now. And I do kind of feel like it's flowing out of me. As far as like physically, I've been feeling a lot more energy in ways that I didn't really imagine energy coming to me. It's funny, for the last couple of years, I imagine energy more as like a feeling of like a caffeine kick or something like that, because I've totally forgotten what it feels like to have energy from food. But it's not like that. It's not like, oh, I ate something and I have like a burst of energy. It's like I ate something and now I feel like sustained for the day. I feel like I can survive throughout the day, you know? It's really weird not feeling totally dead after going to the gym, or not feeling totally dead after going to one store to go grocery shopping. I'd be in Home Goods and I'd feel like I was about to pass out, and even though I just ate right before, but I wasn't eating like enough substance or nourishing my body enough to feel good. And now like I feel like I go all day, but I get so full. That is one thing, is I'm not having like an upset stomach at all. I just get super duper full, except some days I'm hungry all day long, so it's different every single day. But most days on, I get really, really full. I think because my body's not used to processing such high amounts of protein and just other things. Once I started incorporating animal products, it kind of broke down this barrier where I'm challenging a lot more fear foods. I think it was just what I needed, because I was still really tied to a lot of eating disorder rules while eating plant-based. So I was eating a whole food plant-based diet and really, really strict on it. Like, I felt like I could completely recover from my eating disorder just on a whole food plant-based diet. It was challenging for me, but I needed more. Like, I needed to challenge myself more. Now, since I've incorporated animal products, I'm trying a whole lot of other things, normal ice cream and like things that have sugar in it and like a range of foods. I'm not just doing this one by one, really careful and really controlled thing. I haven't had any physical issues at all. I'm not gonna say I don't worry about it, because I do worry about it. I do think about weight gain, and I think about, am I gonna break out? Am I gonna have acne? But I just have to truly believe that I'm doing the right thing for myself. Like I said, I'm really not having a good day today, and it's okay to not have good days, but then there have also been days through this time of incorporating new foods that I just feel really strong and really proud of myself for taking this leap, because I never ever thought that I would achieve even the level of freedom that I feel now. Even though I don't feel like completely I'm where I want to be with my relationship with food, I never thought I'd get to where I am right now, ever. So I'm really proud of myself, and I do get these waves and days of like pride and gratitude and strength and freedom, and then I get these waves of fear and sadness. I just get these waves of sadness. I think that any mental illness, at least for me, I just feel this every time I like start to make really big changes in my diet, or every time I've taken a big leap that I can feel pushing me further towards recovery. It's really scary and really sad for me, because I'm having an eating disorder is something that, I know this sounds so odd, but it feels like something to rely on almost. I know how to do this. I have this. It's a coping mechanism. Like and it's just something that I feel tied to. So every time I'm leaving it a little bit more, it scares me and it makes me sad, because I'm like, I don't know how to live without you. But I do know how to live without it. I'm gonna be totally fine. It's just these waves, you know, which are unnatural. And also, I felt sadness about not being vegan anymore, because like I said, I just feel like it was a part of my personality. But again, it's just, I think, something that's gonna be overall the best decision for me physically and mentally. I just feel like my body needs to be nourished, my mind needs to be nourished. I just need to be refueled. This is gonna be such a journey, and that's why I've been wanting to kind of document it and what I'm eating and how I'm feeling and all that. And I've been journaling so much more than I ever have in recovery, because I just feel this is a really important time for me, and it's a really kind of special time. I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I'm really glad I sat down and recorded this. I actually feel a lot better after talking a bit, because I was sitting over there and I had cereal for dinner. There was extra milk after I finished my cereal, and I was like, wow, I want to add more cereal. And then I was like, oh my gosh, don't do that. Like, my eating disorder was like, don't do that, don't add more cereal. But I was like, but I want to. So I did. And it was good, but I felt like as I was eating it, I was not enjoying it, because I felt like so guilty about it. And then when I was done, I felt guilty, and I was like, ugh, I just feel awful. This whole process is just scary. It shouldn't be scary, because I'm doing what's best for me, but it just feels scary. Yeah, but in other news, last night we went out to dinner and I had a skillet cookie, like where they bring it out to you in a skillet, and it had ice cream on top. And it was so good. And I've never had one of those, or if I have had one of those, it would have been over 5 years ago, and I don't remember it ever. I don't think I ever have, ever. It was so good. And that's just simple blessings in life that my eating disorder has been taking away from me. And that's, again, I don't want to say veganism did this, veganism took this away from me. No, it wasn't that. It was a specific diet I was following that I was labeling in my head as veganism, when it really wasn't just veganism. I was on a very restrictive vegan diet. Yeah, have I rambled enough? Bye. Go eat a skillet cookie. They're super good.